guys, T2RX6 here, back for another third-party review. And I just did T-Bone, but it was a relatively short review, so I figured I'd throw you one more. This is Toyworld TW-T02 Aurora, which is the analog to the Transformers Searchlight. Just a quick look at the box, same as the roll bar one. Now, that is what he looks like. I have modified mine a little bit. I'll get to that in a minute. Actually, let's take a look at the actual G1 Searchlight toy. So he was a little rally type car, and he had all these different headlights on him because that's what rally cars do. And so when we get to our Toyworld guy, he is a Range Rover now instead of a rally car, and there's no lights on him. So the first thing I did was run off to Walmart, and I picked up this little toy truck thing for like $4, and I ripped off his top light bar and I cut off some of the fog lights here, and I took them and I attached them to Aurora here to give him a little more ruggedized, you know, searchlight look. And I think it has improved the overall aesthetic of the vehicle, you know, for at least an off-road capacity. So yeah, that's just kind of what I did to kind of make him resemble a little better Searchlight. But yeah, he's a great car mode, rolls really nicely, very clean lines all around, really nothing to complain about. Bottom, you really can't tell he's a robot. Things store really neatly. You have his gun here that just stores right in to the bottom. It's not a super tight fit, it's not really you know, strongly held in, but it is good enough that it's not just gonna fall out. This guy is, right off the bat, I'll just say it, he is a lot of fun. If you picked up Roll Bar here and you enjoyed him, I think he's better. I really enjoy the transformation of his legs. I feel like the torso is a little bit less of a hassle, and he's just a fun, chunky, beefy toy. Very weighty. You feel like you got your money's out of him, just like Roll Bar. If you didn't like Roll Bar, I don't think he's gonna sway you, but you know. So here's the two Toyworld guys we've gotten so far, and just for a comparison, here he is next to our actual Hasbro, well, Takara Bumblebee, which has been repurposed in the Gold Bug for me, and that gives you a good comparison to go by here. Alright, so let's get to actually transforming this guy. We'll start by taking his gun out. And his gun has to be my biggest complaint, because there is nothing in here to grab onto to help flip out the barrel. So you just have to kind of get a fingernail in there and try to grab the scope part and hope that you can get enough force to pull it up. It took me quite a few tries to actually be able to get that to come out as easy as that did. And I had to jam like knives and everything in there to pull it on out. That is a problem, but overall I guess a very minor problem. To actually transform the toy here, what we're going to start by doing is just kind of pulling everything apart like this, and then we'll split his legs down here, and we might as well get this up. Oh, I forgot to mention, this license plate can come off. I'm not sure if that's going to be something to do with the supposed combiner thing, or if they just put it on to fill in some mold lines. I'm not entirely sure, but it does come off. Anyway, back to the transformation here. We'll get down to feet here. Now you pull these out just like you did for Roll Bar and bring them up. Let me just show you, when you bring it on back though, it doesn't want to fit very good, so you have to kind of rotate it down like this on the front to let it clear that, and then twist it back up and into position, and you'll be able to get it in place pretty easy. So bring those on up. I suspect that this guy in their combined mode thing will probably end up being another foot just by how stably his front end of the car forms his feet, but I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll take, well, we got his legs here. Let's actually get this stuff out of the way. We'll bring these out. right here. There we go. The roof was holding me up on each side, like so. And this whole roof thing works a lot better. Now these are very loose, but they really don't matter a whole bunch. Just keep them so the wheels are facing the opposite way, and we'll bring the back piece like this down all the way. Now this works a lot better than it did on roll bar. Most people, including me, theirs just pops off. This one is a lot more solid. And then you're going to take these back into the car and kind of peg them in here, so the Aurora just kind of sits like that, and then rotate the whole roof and bring it down. And this is why I put my light bar here. I'm pretty sure on the car this might be a like sunroof type thing, if I recall correct, but frankly it looks weird if you put it on here. So we got this going on. We'll just pull these out. Now these arms work pretty much exactly the same as roll bars in terms of this whole inner cavity thing. The chest is a little different, but we'll get to that in a minute. We'll come back to the feet here. What you're going to do is take the wheels and rotate them on in. They don't go all the way in, just rotate them as far in as you can go. Then you're going to grab the door of the car here and kind of pull it downwards, and you'll see that it's going to pop out this joint in the center here. I'll try to show you right there. And then take this, rotate it all the way down so the door is like this, and then push it back in, and then fold the window down so it goes flush over the back of this wheel, and you've made a leg there. And we'll do it again on this side. Pull it out, rotate it, push it in, push the window down. So there we go, we got two legs. He's pretty much done at this point. Let me just fix his knees here because I don't have them extended properly. We'll just clean up his arms a little bit. And again, you have these big arm pieces. And I can't remember if they go forward or if they go back. I can't remember. Doesn't ultimately matter because he holds his gun better than Grind Rod did. Blech. Then you're going to take his head, and I do find this to be a slight problem because of how this is perfectly squared. It is a little bit difficult to get it up. I think after repeated transformations, something will give way a little bit and it'll be better. So you bring that up, and then you take this whole piece, bring it up, rotate this down, flip the windshield around so it's facing the opposite way, and then you just kind of compress it all in. Now it also has these little tabs here and little slots there. Mine don't hold terribly well, but he doesn't, you know, come apart or anything, so I don't think it's a problem. Like, you heard that clip. I have no idea what caused that clip. It's certainly not these tabs, but yeah, he doesn't hold his chest tabs all that well, but I mean, it stays in position good enough. That's not really terribly well locked in, but nothing is really going to move. I can still hold him by it, and it's okay. So yeah, there you go. There is Aurora in his bot mode, and he's looking pretty good. I thought his face was a little bit boring. Let's actually take a close-up of that here. I mean, it's just a blue face. I'm like, oh, they could have put some silver or something, but I actually checked online in the comics, and his face is actually all blue. Just like the G1 toy here, where it's just all blue. So yeah, after I saw that, I was perfectly okay with the face. Now, you may not like the aesthetic as much of the big black chest piece, but I don't really think that it's all that bad. Here's your Generation 1 guy. Not a whole bunch to his transformation. I've got Grind Rod here, looking pretty good. And let's give him the pistol too. And the it's worth noting that he has the same thing as Grind Rod, where you have the gun holding hand, and then you have that like splayed open hand that doesn't do quite as good of a job holding his weapon. So there you go. There's Grind Rod and Aurora. And Aurora's light piping is really good. Grind Rod has really nice light piping if his head is not blocked by the back of his car. Aurora has just fantastic no matter what. It doesn't matter what light he's in, I always feel that that light piping is working. So that is pretty cool. I've also got, of course, the gold bug here with the render form gold scout head on it. Just for comparison, really nice size between these guys here. And since I've just kind of got them handy from the previous review, there is T-Bone and Car Crash. So you can see just kind of how they scale in, and we probably should put Aurora in the front, but unfortunately Bumblebee or Goldbug tends to be pretty small. But yeah, he's a really fun toy, and I think if you like Grind Rod, you'll find yourself really enjoying this guy. Articulation, again, really good. Great ball jointed shoulder, the upper arm swivel, elbow, wrist rotation, of course. Head is, I'm not sure if it's actually on a ball joint. I think it's just on a swivel plate, but you can get some up and down on it as well as left and right. Perfectly acceptable. Waist, thighs, thigh swivel, knee, and you can kind of get a ankle tilt just because of how the transformation works. But yeah, he's a really fun toy. My biggest complaint is the gun is a pain, and that is a pretty good recommendation, I think. Other than that, he doesn't look too terribly searchlight when you compare it to his G1 alt mode, but in bot mode he looks just fine. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next week.